I was using Mapquest recently but could not find what I wanted, so I switched to Google Earth. And voila, I found it, a map of the most corrupt states in the Union. Actually, the map was published by USA Today and showed the number of convicted felons per capita, that is per 100,000 residents. The problem was, the study is flawed because it shows only the conviction rate, not the actual corruption. I mean, our own ongoing study shows that elected officials intimidate judges to obstruct justice. So what would keep them to do that to avoid conviction of a dear friend, one who paid money to the politician? Moreover, if it comes to senators and congressmen, neither the Department of Justice nor the FBI take action. That used to be the case, it no longer is. We filed a complaint against 2 congressmen and 2 senators with the FBI, as did our attorneys. The FBI agent's comments were, "You have to understand, this is very delicate." I bet it is. Or take the cover-ups that make the picture foggy. For example, in Georgia, that according to the USA Today study has a low corruption rate. It does not. Look at our Saxby-Chambliss investigation. Or take the case of the Florida Department of Transportation investigator Raymond Lemme, who investigated 1. The billing for coding of vote fraud software to the department, and 2. What has become known as CoinGate, the use of Florida's turnpike system to funnel foreign money to the Republican Party. He knew too much. 2 weeks after he told a witness that these cases go all the way up as high as you can imagine, he was found dead in Valdosta, Georgia. His death was quickly ruled a suicide. The pictures taken by a crime scene investigator didn't turn out according to the sheriff. Actually, they did. We got hold of them and found that they showed pre-mortem trauma to face, neck, and the eye. His death was a political assassination of a man who knew too much. But because of the cover-up, the murder never appeared in the corruption statistic. So much for Mapquest. Or let's go to California. You may remember the case United States versus Oracle that ended in the judge finding 3 expert witnesses who claimed that the hostile takeover of PeopleSoft by Oracle would impede competition, not believable. Just about during the hot litigation period, Oracle paid 10 grand to Barbara Boxer, to whom they had never before and never thereafter paid a dime. But I got sidetracked. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you again. The map was not the planned subject of today's second opinion, rather mortgage foreclosures. I wanted to make a comment on the perpetual notion that those under foreclosure are at fault themselves by buying beyond their means. Not at all. Follow me for a second. The fact is that at the time they closed the mortgage, the prime rate was low. The lender pushed a variable rate, and after calculating monthly payments, they could afford it, say $1,300. Nobody, please, nobody told them that an increase of less than 1% in the prime rate would nearly double their payments to $2,400. Moreover, nobody told them that when the prime goes down even by more than 1%, the rate would not go down more than a couple of $100, say to $2,000, something they could not afford. The Wall Street Journal quotes foreclosures.com predicting that the housing market will roar back in 2009. I'm not sure what their angle is. It is highly doubtful. According to AP, unemployment rose sharply last week by 525,000 claims, bringing the unemployment total to 4.43 million. By the way, the damage to taxpayers, assuming a 3,118 total paid per unemployed, is $13,781,560,000. Given these numbers, I cannot see how the housing market will rebound by 2009. Indeed, 1 in 10 mortgages is in trouble. In my humble opinion, it is imperative that Congress comes up with a plan that includes homeowners in default, be it by moratorium or whatever. If they can't come up with one, have them call me. I need 2 days and I will have a solution, and it may well include a moratorium plus refinancing, given the fact that sooner or later the market will rebound eventually. Now let's go global. Europe seems to have a problem with Islamic extremists too. In Belgium, 14 alleged Islamic extremists were arrested. Next, Sarkozy and Brown finally met with Merkel, Germany's chancellor, at an EU meeting. As I reported earlier, Merkel was initially not invited. The reason is that she seems to be fundamentally opposed to government support for ailing industries, regardless of whether that costs billions in unemployment insurance. Doesn't that sound familiar? By the way, she is a right radical. Britain's Daily Mail reported about the fury after Merkel's reckless criticism of Brown's recovery plan. Again, if you need to look longer at the pics, hit the pause button. I leave this one on for a few more seconds to give you a chance to find the button. Talking about government support, get this. Now German car makers not only want help from the German governments, including state governments, but from the United States too. I knew that would catch your attention, or was it a picture? Next, ZDNet proposes that Steve Jobs, the Apple CEO, could run General Motors. Now there's an idea. He is one of the few CEOs that truly embrace innovation. How about that, Mr. President-elect? Aren't there any good news out there today? Well, actually, there is. FedEx said it had no plans to lay off anybody in the near future. Hello, Federal! And of course, Big Oil is doing okay too. Take care of yourself. But before I go, here's the man of the year. I'll see you tomorrow.